The Silent Watcher. The galaxy was vast, filled with countless fleets, armadas, and empires. To most, humans were nothing more than an afterthought, small, distant, and unworthy of serious notice. The Council of Powers had already marked Earth as too fragile for war. Their fleets dismissed humanity as weak dreamers, too late to the stars, too slow to adapt. And yet, something lingered at the edge of known space. A vessel, quiet and unmoving, human in origin. At first no one cared. The alien armada that patrolled the borders of the Kelith expanse considered it a joke. Their massive warships dwarfed the lone human vessel. It didn't move. It didn't even raise shields. Sensors showed no heavy weapons, no massive energy spikes. To them, it looked like a rusty husk, a derelict floating through the black. But there was something strange. Whenever scouts approached too close, they never came back. Reports mentioned static-filled last messages, a flash of light, then silence. The commanders laughed. It's malfunction. The humans built a ship and forgot how to maintain it. Still, the Armada grew uneasy. Even the bravest officers found excuses not to fly near it. The derelict ship, though dismissed, was never fully ignored. On the bridge of the human vessel, Captain Elias stood in silence. His hands rested on the railing as the dark of space stretched before him. The ship's engines purred low, cloaked in layers of silence protocols. This was not a derelict. It was a weapon. The humans had built this vessel for a single reason: deterrence. It was never meant to be admired, never meant to be paraded in front of allies. It was meant to sit, wait, and remind anyone who came too close that humanity was not weak. Elias knew the alien fleets were watching. He could feel their scans brushing against the hull, like fingers trying to peel away secrets. He allowed it. Let them. Think the vessel was empty, broken. He whispered, "Patience. They'll make the first move." And they did. The Kelith Armada commander, tired of superstition among his fleet, ordered a direct strike. End this charade. Destroy that human scrap. Hundreds of ships moved into formation, cannons warmed, missiles locked, the stars lit with fire as the order was given. The human vessel didn't move, not when the first salvo screamed through the void, not when plasma bursts hit the hull, not when shockwaves rippled through the black. The alien fleet cheered. Their target had taken the full force, no shields, no evasive maneuvers. Nothing could survive that. But then, the smoke cleared. The vessel was still there, untouched. Not a scratch marked its surface. Fear spread like wildfire across the alien fleet. Sensors scrambled, weapons locked again, but crews hesitated. The ship had endured the impossible. On board the human vessel, Captain Elias finally gave the order. His voice was calm, steady. Unveil. Panels along the hull shifted. What once looked like rust and broken plating began to unfold. Layers of armor shimmered as dark energy shields snapped awake. A silent hum filled the void as hidden cannons emerged, larger than anything the aliens had seen before. What they thought was junk was alive. The alien fleet scrambled. They tried to retreat, but it was already too late. Target nearest flagship, Elias ordered. One cannon fired. A single bolt of condensed energy split the black. It struck the alien flagship and tore it in half in less than a heartbeat. No shields, no armor, no escape. The fleet's command vanished in an instant. Panic erupted. Ships collided as they tried to scatter. Some fired desperately, but their weapons did nothing. Others ran, abandoning formation. The human vessel moved for the first time, slow and deliberate, like a predator stretching after long sleep. Its engines pulsed with a deep red glow, cutting through the dark. "Armada strength confirmed," Elias said softly. "Engage annihilation sequence." And with that, the vessel unleashed its fury. Bolts of silent light ripped through ships one by one. Missiles arced into clusters of frigates, turning them into debris fields. The vessel didn't rush. It didn't waste energy. It was clinical, efficient, unstoppable. The Kelith Armada, hundreds of ships strong, was reduced to chaos. For the first time, aliens across the sector realized the truth. The humans had not come late to the stars. They had been preparing. And their vessel was not to be dismissed. The fear spreads. The Caliph expanse was silent. Where once an armada had floated with pride, now only wreckage drifted. Broken ships, shattered hulls, fragments of warriors who thought they were unstoppable. At the center of the graveyard glided the human vessel, smooth, silent, untouched. Messages spread faster than light. Merchant convoys whispered of the battle. Pirate bands repeated the tale in fear. Traders swore they saw a lone ship tear through an entire armada without taking a single scar. Many dismissed it as rumor. Others laughed, saying, "Impossible, humans could never." But survivors existed. A few damaged alien frigates, crippled but still alive, limped back to their homeworlds. Their crews told the story in trembling voices. They described the vessel's sudden awakening, the way it unfolded like a beast, and how its weapons erased ships in a single strike. The galaxy listened, and the galaxy trembled. In the High Council chambers, the great species gathered. Voices clashed, echoing off marble walls. "It was luck," one shouted. "It was trickery," another accused. "No," a third said softly. "I say of the recordings. This was no trick. That vessel is real. Humanity hides power we cannot measure." Silence fell. The thought itself was poison. For centuries, humanity had been ignored, mocked as slow, fragile newcomers. They were tolerated only because they were considered weak. But weakness was now gone. If humans could field even one vessel like this, what else had they built in secret? The council panicked. Armies debated. Should they unite against Earth before it was too late? Or should they beg for peace before the humans decided to strike first? On the vessel, Captain Elias watched from the bridge as the last debris of the Caliph fleet faded into the void. He said nothing for a long time. Beside him, the ship's AI pulsed a soft blue glow. "Enemy resistance neutralized. Sector clear." "Not clear," Elias whispered. "They'll come again. Stronger. They won't accept humiliation." The AI hummed. "Then we will annihilate them again." Elias turned his gaze toward the stars. He had commanded ships before, but nothing like this one. This vessel was not just steel and weapons. It was a symbol, a blade forged in silence. Humanity's last argument against extinction. He knew the galaxy would not forget. Fear had been planted. Fear would grow. Across distant systems, alien civilians whispered in marketplaces. They say the human ship cannot be destroyed. They say it is a ghost weapon. They say the humans will march soon, and all of us will kneel. Fear turned into legend within weeks. Children were warned not to speak ill of humans, lest the vessel appear in the night sky. Soldiers began to doubt their commanders. Generals grew restless. The humans had forced the galaxy into paranoia, without saying a single word. The Caliph leaders raged. Humiliated, they demanded revenge. "We will send 5 armadas next time. We will crush the humans until their world burns." But fear spread even among them. Their soldiers whispered mutiny. Their people protested. None wanted to face the vessel again. Even worse, other alien empires began to distance themselves. "Why should we die for your pride?" they asked. "If humans have such power, perhaps we should not anger them further." The Caliph found themselves isolated, alone. Meanwhile, back on Earth, leaders argued in secret. The vessel's victory had shocked even them. Some cheered. "Now the galaxy must respect us." Others warned. "Now they will fear us, and fear brings war." The vessel was not supposed to be revealed so soon. It was humanity's hidden blade, meant to deter war, not provoke it. But the Caliph attack had forced its awakening, and now the secret was out. On the bridge, Elias received encrypted orders from Earth. His jaw tightened as he read them. "Captain Elias," the message began, "your mission has changed. You are no longer a silent guardian. You are now humanity's banner. The galaxy watches you. Let them see." Elias closed his eyes. He had hoped to remain hidden, to use the vessel only if Earth was threatened. But now, there was no choice. Humanity wanted the galaxy to understand one truth: dismiss us at your peril. The vessel shifted course. Its engines hummed low, carrying it toward the nearest council sector. Its presence alone would spread terror. But Elias wondered, would fear keep humanity safe, or would it draw the galaxy's full wrath upon them? As the stars blurred past, the captain whispered, "Let them come." The vessel pulsed with energy, silent but alive, ready for the next storm. The Council's trap. The human vessel moved like a shadow across the stars, silent, relentless. Every system it entered, whispers followed before it even arrived. Stations emptied, merchant fleets rerouted, armies avoided its path. The galaxy had never feared humanity before. But now, even without firing, the vessel was winning battles, battles of fear, doubt, and silence. Yet the High Council was not ready to surrender. In the Grand Chamber, the leaders of powerful empires gathered. Their voices were sharp, heavy with fear wrapped in pride. "We cannot allow humans to rise unchecked," one declared. "If one ship exists, then there may be more," another warned. "They must be stopped before it is too late." But open war had already cost them dearly. The Keleth Armada was gone, wiped out in front of every watching sensor. More fleets would only mean more humiliation. So the Council chose another path. "Send envoys," the Speaker of the Council ordered. "Speak of peace, speak of alliance, lure them into trust, and when they come close, strike." It was a plan soaked in deceit, but desperation made liars of them all. The message was sent to Earth. The Council offered talks. They promised recognition, respect, even seats at the table. They spoke of unity. They spoke of peace. On Earth, leaders debated. Some believed the Council's words, others doubted. Captain Elias listened in silence as the message played on the bridge of his vessel. The Council's tone was smooth, careful, but behind it he felt the tremor of fear. "They invite us into their heart," the AI said. "They invite us into their jaws," Elias replied. Still, Earth gave the order. "Accept the invitation. Show strength not only in weapons, but in presence." The vessel adjusted course. Its black hull gleamed as it turned toward the Council's sector. When the human vessel finally arrived, the galaxy held its breath. The Council had chosen a neutral system as the meeting place, a grand station orbiting a dying sun. Alien ships lined the station, colorful banners of peace fluttering in holographic projections. But hidden in the void, behind cloaking fields and silent drives, waited fleets. Armadas from 3 empires, hundreds of ships, armed and ready. The trap was set. On Earth, leaders debated. Some belied the Council's words, others doubted. Captain Elias listened in silence as the message played on the bridge of his vessel. The Council's tone was smooth, careful, but behind it he felt the tremor of fear. "They invite us into their heart," the AI said. "They invite us into their jaws," Elias replied. Still, Earth gave the order. "Accept the invitation. Show strength not only in weapons, but in presence." The vessel adjusted course. Its black hull gleamed as it turned toward the Council's sector. When the human vessel finally arrived, the galaxy held its breath. The Council had chosen a neutral system as the meeting place, a grand station orbiting a dying sun. Alien ships lined the station, colorful banners of peace fluttering in holographic projections. But hidden in the void, behind cloaking fields and silent drives, waited fleets. Armadas from 3 empires, hundreds of ships armed and ready. The trap was set. Elias stepped onto the viewing deck of his ship as the station grew larger in the viewport. The holograms of peace shimmered bright, but his instincts burned with warning. "Do you believe them?" the AI asked. "No," Elias whispered, "but we'll play their game." The vessel slowed. Docking lanes opened. Messages of welcome flooded the channel. Every word was soft, every tone sweet, yet Elias heard the weight behind them. the kind of voice predators used before they struck. He gave the order. Maintain full readiness. Cloaks down. Let them see us. The vessel shed its quiet disguise. Armor shimmered awake. Cannons unfolded like wings. The station's entire surface seemed to shiver under the sight. Even in supposed peace, the humans refused to look weak. Envoys arrived through secure channels. Alien ambassadors, tall and grand in their ceremonial robes, greeted Elias with rehearsed smiles. "Captain of humanity's vessel," they said smoothly, "we welcome you. The galaxy does not wish for war. Let us discuss peace." Elias studied them. Their words were honey, but their eyes betrayed them. Fear, hatred, calculation. "Peace," Elias said coldly, "is built on truth. Do you come with truth?" The chamber went silent. No one answered. Outside, in the void, the trap tightened. Hidden fleets armed their weapons. Crews whispered nervously, hands shaking at their stations. They had been told the human vessel was strong, but no ship could face hundreds. Numbers would prevail. Numbers always prevailed. And yet doubt crept into their hearts. What if it was true? What if this one ship was enough? On board the human vessel, alarms blinked. The AI's voice turned sharp. Multiple signatures detected. Cloak fields dropping, fleet-class weapons powering up. They mean to strike. Elias stood tall. His face was calm, but his voice carried steel. "So be it," he said. "Let them show their true faces." He turned to the AI. "Prepare countermeasures. If they want war, we'll give them a memory they'll never erase." The alien envoys stiffened as their earpieces crackled. Their fleets were preparing to fire. The plan was already in motion. Elias saw the panic in their eyes. His lips curled into a thin smile. "Your peace was never real," he said softly. "Neither is your survival." The void outside ignited. Hundreds of warships uncloaked, surrounding the station. Cannons charged, engines roared. The trap had been sprung. But the galaxy had yet to learn what it meant to corner humanity's most dangerous weapon. The trap ignites. The station orbiting the dying sun shook as fleets uncloaked from the darkness. Hundreds of warships appeared, engines burning bright, weapons warming. The banners of three great empires filled the void, their combined strength meant to crush the lone human vessel. The envoys on the station smiled coldly. Their trap was complete. "Now," one whispered to another, "let them see who truly rules the stars." On the bridge of the human vessel, alarms filled the air. Red lights blinked. The AI spoke in a steady voice. "Enemy count, 412 ships, weapons armed, incoming firepower, catastrophic." Captain Elias stood firm, his gaze fixed on the endless wall of ships outside. "They think numbers will save them," he muttered. "They forget. This vessel is not made of numbers. It is made of purpose." The first barrage came. A storm of plasma bolts, missiles, and energy lances rained toward the human vessel. The void lit up brighter than a sunrise. The station itself trembled as shockwaves rippled outward. To the Council fleets, the strike looked overwhelming. No ship could withstand such fury. No shield could last against such endless fire. But when the flames cleared, the vessel still stood. Its hull shimmered with a strange glow, not a normal shield, but something deeper, older, something the galaxy had never seen before. It bent light, bent energy, bent physics itself. The alien fleets froze in disbelief. Inside, the AI reported calmly, "Quantum lock engaged. Hull integrity at 100%. Elias nodded. "Then it's our turn." The vessel began to move. Slow at first, then sharp, cutting through the void like a predator released from chains. Panels along its body opened, weapons unfolded, not simple cannons, but constructs of terrifying design. Some shimmered with compressed energy, others pulsed with strange, rotating cores that seemed to tear at reality itself. The Council fleets had expected a battleship. What rose before them was a nightmare. "Target their carriers," Elias ordered. One cannon fired. It wasn't light. It wasn't plasma. It was something else. an invisible wave that rippled across space. The nearest carrier didn't explode, it vanished. One moment it existed, the next it was gone, erased like chalk wiped from a slate. The alien crews screamed. "What is this weapon?" commanders shouted. "Shields don't register, hulls don't register." But no answer came. The human vessel fired again. Another ship disappeared, and another. Panic spread. The trap had turned into terror. Still, the fleets fought. They launched missiles, unleashed fighters, poured fire into the vessel from every direction. The black void became a storm of destruction. Yet nothing broke the human vessel. Its quantum lock bent reality, making weapons slide past as if the ship existed in another layer of space. And while the fleets wasted fire, the vessel struck back with cold precision. Bolts of red energy carved through frigates. Missiles burst into waves of magnetic shards that crippled entire squadrons at once. Fighters melted into dust before they even closed distance. Each shot was measured, each strike final. Inside the council chamber on the station, envoys stared at live feeds in horror. "This cannot be real," one whispered. "All our fleets, destroyed like toys." The Speaker of the Council gripped the table so hard his claws cracked. "If this vessel survives, humanity will own the galaxy." Back on the human vessel, Elias gave his next command. "Release the swarm." Hidden bays opened. From the vessel poured hundreds of drones, small, fast, and armed with weapons the galaxy had never studied. They darted like hunting birds, weaving between warships, tearing them apart from the inside out. A single drone pierced a battleship hull and detonated. The explosion tore the vessel in two. Others swarmed carriers, shredding engines and reactors. The fleets began to crumble. The alien commander shouted retreat orders, but it was too late. The human vessel advanced, unstoppably, each strike cutting down ships like wheat before a blade. The dying sun burned behind it, casting the black hull in firelight. To the galaxy watching through spy feeds, the image seared itself into memory. One vessel, alone, standing against hundreds and annihilating them. On the bridge, the AI reported, "Enemy losses, catastrophic, fleet collapse imminent." Elias's eyes were cold. He had not wanted this battle, but now the galaxy had forced his hand. "Let them remember this day," he said quietly. "Let them remember that humanity does not bow." The fleets broke. Ships fled in all directions, abandoning the fight. The once grand trap was reduced to scattered wreckage and drifting survivors. The envoys on the station fell silent. For the first time, the galaxy realized a truth that could not be denied. The human vessel was not just strong, it was untouchable. The last warning, the battlefield was silent. Where hundreds of alien warships once glimmered with pride, now only fragments drifted across the dying sun's orbit. The Council's great trap had collapsed, its fleets burned away by a single human vessel. Across the galaxy, broadcasts spread like wildfire. Every spy drone, every hidden relay, every frightened witness carried the same image. A lone ship, black and gleaming, moving through wreckage like a ghost. Untouched, unbroken, unstoppable. The legend was no longer rumor. It was truth. In the High Council chamber, chaos reigned. Leaders of empires shouted, claws and fists slamming against tables. "They are demons. They wield weapons that should not exist. If they can erase entire fleets, what will stop them from erasing worlds?" Fear twisted into despair. Some demanded surrender to humanity, others demanded desperate unity against them. But no voice carried real hope. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt small. On Earth, leaders received the final reports. The victory had shocked them too. Humanity had built the vessel as deterrence, never expecting it would actually face an entire coalition alone. Now the galaxy knew, and Earth faced a question more dangerous than any battle. Should humanity press forward as conquerors, or stand as guardians? On the bridge of the vessel, Captain Elias stared at the stars. His crew was silent. Only the hum of the ship filled the air. The AI broke the quiet. Council fleets destroyed. No further resistance detected. Awaiting next directive. Elias did not answer at once. His hands tightened on the railing. He knew what the vessel truly carried. He knew the secret buried in its core, the reason humanity had built it in shadows. This was no mere battleship. It was a judgment engine, a weapon designed not only to destroy fleets, but to end civilizations. And it was not alone. Elias spoke softly. "Open channel to all systems. Let them hear us." The AI obeyed. Across the galaxy, communication lines sparked alive. Screens flickered in military command centers, in marketplaces, in council halls. Billions turned their eyes to the feed. The image of the human captain appeared, calm, unshaken. His voice rolled like thunder across the stars. "You dismissed us. You mocked us. You believed humanity too weak to shape the galaxy. You were wrong." The words struck deep. Silence gripped the galaxy as Elias continued. "You saw one vessel. You saw what it can do. Know this, there are more, hidden, waiting. If you come against us again, you will not face one ship. You will face fire from every horizon." Gasps spread across worlds. The council leaders went pale. Elias leaned closer to the feed. His voice lowered, but it carried weight enough to shake armies. "We do not seek your surrender. We do not seek your thrones. Humanity does not rule by fear. But if you come for us again, if you try to break us, then you will not see fleets burn, you will see empires end." The transmission ended. Silence fell across the stars. On distant worlds, alien civilians wept in relief that humanity did not demand conquest. Others trembled, knowing they lived now only by human mercy. The council fractured. Some members resigned, their empires choosing to avoid all contact with Earth. Others quietly reached out, offering trade, alliance, even tribute, anything to keep the vessels away from their skies. The galaxy's balance had shattered, and humanity had become the center. Back on the vessel, Elias turned from the viewing screen. His eyes were heavy. "Do you think they understood?" he asked. The AI pulsed. "Yes, they will fear you. They will fear us." Elias shook his head. "Fear is not enough. One day they will test us again, and then—" His gaze fell to the silent core of the ship, humming with power too great to name. "Then the real choice will come." Because the vessel's greatest weapon had not been fired, the quantum core inside its heart could erase not only fleets, but entire worlds. It was humanity's last defense, the darkest truth of their rise. And Elias prayed it would never be used. The vessel drifted onward, black against the stars. Behind it lay wreckage, ahead of it lay silence. Yet in every system, in every world, the same truth whispered through the air. Humanity had come, humanity had endured, humanity had power no one could deny. And from that day forward, no empire in the galaxy dared to dismiss a human ship again. The end.